All right. So I don't post a video for a few days, or rather a few weeks. As the last video we posted was about Charlie Kirk, the terrible event that happened with Charlie Kirk. And weeks after, there's still news that are revolving um, through this event that happened. And this is something that it's terrible. I condemned these actions on my last video, and I think I was very clear when I said that we have to stay together in condemning this, right? And not just and I just want to make this clear as well, not just Democrats but Republicans as well. Both parties both parties need to condemn this type of act, right? So, and I think I've seen that. I've seen positive, negative comments all throughout, and but not from one specific side or the other. I've just seen individual comments, but when it comes to the people that are in power, what I've seen from the Democrats is that they have actually they have been condemning this, although there hasn't been a direct link to the Democratic Party and for this the person that killed Charlie Kirk. So this is what I've been seeing throughout this past week, throughout the news, throughout all the videos that I've been watching, throughout everything that people are posting, and there is a push from the left, from the right, and they're trying to place the right is trying to place blame on the left, and all the left has been trying to do is they've been trying to defend themselves, and really there's no reason for them to do so because there's no direct link, there's no direct connection. There's nothing that I've seen that connects the shooter to either party or a specific ideology. There's still, at this time, a lot we don't know about this case, but this event has turned into a an opportunity for the right to govern speech, to attack free speech, to attack the Democratic Party, to attack its political opponents. We're talking about the life of a man here, and it's being politicized so badly from the right media. And I have to say, this is so embarrassing. This is so bad. I cannot believe, and I will say this should not be a representative of what the Republican Party is all about. And there are some right wing media people that are talking about it, but there's not enough people on the right wing media that really are pressing on this issue. Let's stop politicizing the death of a man. Let's stop making it about the left versus the right, and let's talk about what's really important and what really matters here. And what matters in this case is that there are certain laws, there are certain things that we can do in the future to prevent stuff like this from happening again. But and there's no absolute way, there's no right answer that will ever stop people from killing each other, and there's just no way. I wish there were, but people are evil, and not everybody's evil. That this might be taken into the wrong context. Not every person's evil, but when you have evil people out in the world that are wanting to harm others, and this was the sad case of Charlie Kirk. Now, what's going on with the right? What I don't like about what's going on is that we are attacking the left side. We are demonizing the people on the left. We are taking this opportunity to attack our political opponents. This is not right. This is not what this should happen. This should be a time of unifying. This should be a unifying time where we really talk about the important issues, not about condemning the opposing side. So what this administration is doing is that they're taking up this opportunity, and you have to understand this is an opportunity for them to start selling a narrative in which they want to control the narrative and what's going on out to the public. And we have to understand, the Republican Party used to be the party of small government, but we are wanting to make our government big. We are putting our government in places where it shouldn't be. And, we talk about free speech, we talk about protecting free speech, but then we are at the same time advocating for losing our free speech. Now, whatever happened over this past week, over one of the many things that happened with the killing of Charlie Kirk, is that many people have been making commentaries. They've been commenting on it. They've had their own opinions, and the government doesn't like the opinions of what these people are saying. Now we have the chair of the FCC openly saying that they want to control the media narrative. They want to control the whatever it's pushed out to the public. And what did they do? They fired Jimmy Kimmel because he's not pushing out the narrative that they want. Let's watch this clip so you can see what I'm talking about here.
Really sick. And I've been very clear from the moment that I have become chairman of the FCC. I want to reinvigorate the public interest. And what people don't understand is that the broad.
Okay, before we go on further, he wants to reinvigorate the public interest, right? To me, whatever is being pushed out, whether it's positive, whether it's negative, you don't get to decide what is in my best interest, right? Whatever I choose to listen to is my right to do so. And it is not your job to police whatever narrative is being pushed on to me, or whatever narrative is being pushed out to. It is my responsibility to choose what I want to listen to, right? But let's go on.
And you've gotten this right, are entirely different than people that use other forms of communication. They have a license granted by us at the FCC, and that comes with it an obligation to operate in the public interest. And we can get into some ways that we've been trying to reinvigorate the public interest and some changes that we've seen. But frankly, when you see stuff like this, I mean, look, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. These companies can find ways to change conduct, to take action, frankly, on Kimmel, or, there's going to be additional work for the FCC.
We can do things the easy way or the hard way. I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing? We're talking about the chair of the FCC saying you either essentially what he was saying at the time is you either fire Jimmy Kimmel or we're going to have to look at other actions, right? Because he said some comments that we don't like. He pushed out a narrative that we don't like. This is terrible. So and I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of Jimmy Kimmel, right? I'm not trying to defend Jimmy Kimmel here, but what I'm trying to do is we have to defend our right to free speech, right? And, for the chair of the FCC to make such a comment, it would make me believe that Jimmy Kimmel's comments were so bad, were so outrageous that, that a man would need to, the only way that we can make things right is to get this man out of the airwaves, get this man, take away his platform, take away his voice, because what he said was so hateful, was so bad, was so terrible that we just have to take his job away and take away his voice. So Let's go in and I just want to hear what Jimmy Kimmel's comments were. I'm not going to comment too much about what Jimmy Kimmel said, because I do not want to face any retaliation for what we are doing here, for what we are showing. But I think it's important that we at least listen to what he said that was so egregious that he had to be fired over it. And I'll let you be the judge of what you think, if he should have really gotten fired for this comment or not. So let's see.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
Okay. So he said, what was his comment again? His comment was essentially that the right is wanting to place blame on what we were talking about earlier, trying to blame the left side for this terrible, terrible event. So why did he need to get fired again? What was the essence of the comment that was so terrible, right? So what I'm trying to say is, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, a man lost his life, and at the end of the day, we do see the right trying to push this narrative that it was this group, this political opponent, and we'll just call it a group, which is the left. They were the ones who did this. They are the enemy. Why are we making ourselves the enemy of each other? Why do we have to be enemies? Why does the right need to be enemies with the left? Why does the left need to be enemies with the right? At the end of the day, you know, what they're doing is they're sowing hate against one group, against another group. And at the end of the day, all they want is to fight, because the more divided we are as a nation, the more divided we are, and you have to listen to this, the more divided we are as a nation, the more power they are going to have over us. So it's never about what happened to Charlie Kirk. It's never about, you know, the tragic loss of his life. It's never about what he stood up for. It's never about any of it. It's about a narrative that they want to push, and that they want to silence anybody that has a difference of opinion. Isn't this authoritarian? You tell me. Don't we have a right to express our thoughts and our opinions? Right? As long as we're not posting a threat, as long as I'm not making any threats to anybody, as long as I'm not, whatever I'm saying, I'm not putting anybody in any danger. Right? Can't we have civil discourse? No, we can't. Not under this administration, because what we're facing is an administration that wants to silence everybody's voice. They don't want anybody to have an opinion other than theirs. They want to hear what they want pushed out. What's the name of that? What is that called? Propaganda. Is this the America you want to live in? Is this what you want your government to look like, right? And I'm talking about both sides, right? I'm talking to both sides, but let me clear this out. Let me make this very, very clear. The right needs to listen to this more, because it applies to us more today. Is this what we want? Don't we want smaller government? Don't we want the government not to meddle on every affair of our lives? Then why are we letting these people police whatever we can listen to, whatever we have access to? You know, the narratives that are pushed out. We have so many different channels, news outlets, podcasts, whatever. So the FCC goes after Jimmy Kimmel today. I don't like, personally, sometimes I find Jimmy Kimmel funny. Most times I don't find him funny. Does that mean he needs to get fired? No. You know what? If I don't find him funny, you find him funny, you want to watch Jimmy Kimmel, that's on you. That's fine. You have the right to listen to Jimmy Kimmel. I have the right to change the channel, to watch something else and not to listen to him. Right? I mean, isn't this what America's all about? We have the freedom to listen, to choose whatever we want, as long as, you know, there's no immediate threats. I didn't hear any threats here. What am I missing? Am I missing something? I did not listen to any threats made out to anybody here. What I heard was him expressing his opinion, and for that he lost his job. All right. So, do we really want the government policing speech? Come on. This is not what the Republican Party stands for. If anything, it stands for the opposite. I mean, it used to, but this thing that we call MAGA now, it's not really indicative of what the Republican Party really is, right? We know that Trump originally wanted to run as an independent. He couldn't, so he latched on to Republicans. But at the end of the day, is he a real Republican? Is he really doing the things that Republicans believe in? I think the answer is no. I think the answer is he made his own party and insuited into the Republican Party, but it's not representative of what the Republican Party is all about. You know, and there's good in this administration, there's bad in this administration, but there's so much more bad than there is good. And the main thing is we are in the brink of having an authoritarian government that is growing and policing us every single day, that we are giving it the power to police us every single day. We're giving it more and more and more power. Is this what you want? And let's look at it from the opposite side. What happens when the Democrats win next time? And I think Ted Cruz said something to that effect. Do we really want the government to have the sort of power that when the opposing side takes power, you don't think they're not going to do the same thing to you, do you? They're going to start retaliating because we made it so bad for them that they're going to feel that they have to make it bad for us, right? So at the end of the day, is this really what you want? Is this really what America needs right now? Do we need so much division? Do we need so much hate? And do we need the government meddling on the things we hear and fire people from the airwaves because they are not pushing out the agenda that they want to push out? All right, that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you like this video, please make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And we are trying to build something big here. I know we're not pushing out as much content as we would like, but this is something that we will be working on towards more, so that we're pushing out not just union, labor, news, politics, news, whatever it is, whatever that's relevant nowadays to the American people. This is what we want to push out on this segment of the show. So thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe. God bless. And remember, we are not giving up. Take care.